Hello everybody, welcome back to class. Today's short lesson today will be about calculating your BMI and your heart rate. Okay, so standards that will be covered with this lesson. Students demonstrate knowledge of physical fitness concepts, principles, and strategies to improve health and performance, and explain the effects of physical activity on heart rate during exercise, during the recovery phase, and while the body is at rest. Okay. So, objectives for today, students will be able to use the BMI formula, and students will be able to measure and estimate their active, recovering, and resting heart rates. Okay, so we will do some physical activity a little later, but before we get to that, we got to learn a little bit of math. Okay, so first up is you probably want to know is what body mass index is, okay, or BMI. It's a quick way to estimate your weight category and determine your health status and risks. Okay. It's used in the medical field, it's used in the fitness field. I've used it a few times in my previous job. Something you guys are going to have to learn because it has to kind of do with body composition, which is one of your standards, okay? And one of the 5 components of fitness. So the BMI formula, which you guys can see right here, is equals to weight in kilograms divided by height in meters squared, okay? So before we can even plug in things into the formula, because we use inches and pounds over here, we're going to have to convert pounds to kilograms. Simple way to do that is you divide it by 2.2, and then you have to convert inches to meters by multiplying it by 0.0254. Okay, just a disclaimer with BMI, this measurement should not be used alone to for a conclusive measurement. Okay, so BMI is usually paired with something, some other form of measurement to get a total idea or total picture of what your body composition looks like. One of the main reasons is it doesn't take into account muscle versus fat. So you might measure someone who's like super fit, plays basketball, plays soccer, plays football, really good athlete, like some of you guys are in here. And then we measure BMI and it says that you're in a category that maybe isn't as healthy, right? Don't worry about that. Okay. The number is just to give us an idea of what category you're in. It doesn't tell us how healthy you are, mainly because it doesn't take into account your muscle versus fat or your bone composition or it understands, the differences in our bodies. So take the category with a grain of salt. It's not the end all be all. Again, this is just a quick way to estimate and figure out what weight category you're in, and we go from there. Okay. So we're going to practice. So we have Bob over here. He's 5'5", okay, 5 feet 5 inches, and weighs about 150 pounds. What is his BMI? So how are we going to do this? Step one is convert 5.5 inches or 5 feet 5 inches to inches. Okay, all together. So how many inches are in a foot? Correct, 12. So we got 5 feet. So we're going to do 12 times 5. That gives us 60. Now we also got 5 inches. So that's another 5. That gives us 65 inches. Okay. Now remember, the BMI formula uses meters. So now that we got our inches, which is 65, we got to convert that to meters. And how do we do that? We multiply our 65 times 0.0254. Okay. That's going to give us 1.651. And then again, we have to square it, right? So if we square 1.651, it's going to equal 2.71. Okay, you guys can try it on your own. You can take out your phone, follow steps 1 and 2, and see if you guys get the same number. Okay. Once we get finished there, we're going to go to step 3, which is convert 150 pounds to kilograms. Now, on the last slide, like it was said, 150 divided by 2.2 should give us the weight in kilograms. That is 68.18. So you guys can go ahead, follow along, try it on your phones. Beautiful. Okay. Now, step 4, we got to plug it into our formula. So our formula is what? Weight divided by height squared, correct? There we go. So BMI is 68.18 divided by that squared number, which is 2.72. That would give us an answer of the BMI equaling 25. So for 25 for adults, right on the edge of normal. For kids, you are perfectly healthy, perfectly normal. So it's a little different for adults and kids, but either way, it's a good number to be at. And Bob over here is doing pretty well. Okay. Now, calculating your estimated heart rate. So you're going to use these steps for while you guys are sitting around, like while you guys are waiting on your numbers, after you guys do our warm up. Okay. And then you guys will also do it one more time about 30 seconds after the warm up. So after you guys' warm up lap, you guys are going to wait for a little bit, then measure your heart rate as well. Okay. So first things first is we got to find your pulse. We're going to use our carotid artery or the radial artery. Remember, we went over this the other day. So carotid artery is by your neck. Your radial artery is on your hand. It's on the thumb side. Okay. Once you guys find that pulse, you guys are going to count the number of pulses or beats for 10 seconds. Okay. So whatever number you get after 10 seconds, that's the number you're going to keep in your head. Once you guys find that number, once you guys have that number, we're going to multiply it by 6. Anyone give me a reason why we're doing it by 6? Very good. Okay. Because there's 60 seconds in a minute, correct? Cool. So if we do it by 10 seconds, we multiply it by 6, that gives us 60. That gives us a rough estimate of how many beats per minute we got. Okay? So we're going to go ahead, measure. Let's say Danny over here has counted 7 beats in the 10 seconds. Okay? We're going to do 7 times 6 is, anyone tell me? Yep, 54. Good. So that's their estimated heart rate right now is 54 beats per minute. That means Danny over here has pretty good cardio. He is pretty fit, pretty lean. His slow heart rate, it means his heart rate doesn't have to work as hard for his body to function. Okay? All right. So everyone go ahead, find a partner, and we're going to test out both these measurements.